Gorgeous morning here at Mooloolaba Beach. We are here, but we just chose to stay in the car.
Because it's raining a lot outside. I'm Ilka Oster.
I'm Joe Drennan.
And this morning I got a tough question for Joe. Did you label yourself with this thing about being an introvert? Introvert.
Yes, I did, and it allowed me to, I guess, have an excuse for all the times I said no to people for turning up at events and whatnot. Yeah, how about you? Extrovert. Obviously, you may have had some trouble working out who's the introvert and who's the extrovert.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was a given. And the thing is, I didn't really ever label myself that way. Mostly I was given that label by other people. How did you fit that label, Joe? Like, why that label for yourself?
Well, that's choosing a lot of time alone and then going to things like network events and probably I was doing it to myself. Like, I'm nervous before I go in and then I get in. So often, like being an introvert, it's related to being exhausted, getting exhausted around people, and that was certainly the case for me. But I don't think it was so much what I was doing; it's what I'm doing inside my head. Being a little bit nervous about talking to people, and then when I leave events, it's like, whew, relax, and I can breathe. So it's all going on in here.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, being an extrovert, given that most other people are giving me the label, one memory I have is that if at school I was ever quiet and just kind of not saying much for the day, many people would come up to me and say, Ilka, like really concerned, are you okay? Is there something wrong? And so I think you really, from that and from being a chronic people pleaser, I didn't ever want to upset anybody. So I was just training them and training myself into keeping this persona going of I'm always upbeat, I'm always able to, have a conversation, kind of be the entertainment. And then people would, invite me to things to be the entertainment, to be the bright, happy person. And you just it just keeps going until, I think at the other end of it is very similar to an introvert. You can't keep doing that forever and not, looking at your own internal guidance system, because that just kind of gets completely shut off. And so eventually it leads to burnout as well.
That's interesting to look at your own internal guidance system. Recently I was with a HR consultant and did the DISC personality test again. I've done it many times and I love looking into personalities, body shapes, all that sort of thing. And I spoke with her about changing our personalities, and she said, oh, you can't really change your personality, and I completely disagree with that, but perhaps it's more about just shedding those layers that aren't really you, that you've built up, like saying yes to being the entertainment, and then finding the real you.
Yeah, and then it becomes a personal choice. That once I'd done a lot of work, my inner work, and let go of this need to please and get acceptance from other people and just accept myself, I choose based on what's good for me, which is really the only way to choose anything. Same for you?
Yeah. So with our children, this is interesting. We were just talking about birthday parties, and I've got a couple of extroverts. I've got 3 children. But I was never comfortable with having the big birthday parties, and I would be nervous and suggest, oh, how about you just have a couple of friends over and they sleep over, whereas other people were having the whole class over for birthday parties. But I really had trouble with that.
Yeah, and also probably didn't suit some of your children, as I had a child that probably would have much rather a Joe-style birthday party, and I remember one where she just cried the whole time because it was big and it was huge, and we had balloons, like we had just over-the-top themes. It was just totally what would be labelled extrovert, and probably not her thing. So I think the important part there was perhaps to listen to what your children actually want, and not be guided by your own stuff.
Yeah, that my
what you want.
Yeah, that my way is the right way for everyone in the world. Not the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I think, again, once you start to let go of your own, I mean, back then I hadn't really let go of a lot of my own stuff. Again, I was still doing the people pleasing. So I didn't never want to leave anyone out.
Yeah.
So everybody's got to come to the party, and it was more about that than actually the listening to what my child is actually really wanting. So
the not leaving anyone out. Whereas I think for me, and like I could have been seen as cold and hard and distant. Yet I prefer like one-on-one conversations or small group conversations.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's awesome that as you get older and wiser and let go of your emotional baggage, you can actually make choices, and then, you know, really inspire your children to be able to just be the people that they want to be, because I think they're all just labels. It's all coming from some kind of insecurity. There are good parts to being an introvert and an extrovert, and you can keep those, but the rest, well, it's a personal choice.
Absolutely.
I believe.
Yes, it is. So thank you for joining us at the gorgeous Mooloolaba Beach, you know, sunny Queensland. Beautiful one day, perfect the next. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have a better view rather than inside the car.
Yeah, it's a bit fogged up.
Yes. And
okay. Inspire someone today. Homo